Hey guys, this is lesson 5 in adaptations. Adaptations in action. So, how do adaptations help animals? Let's figure that out today. Today you're going to be able to discover the ways animals use their physical and behavioral adaptations to survive. You'll also be able to explain how they do that. So remember, we've been talking about physical adaptations. Physical adaptations are is the way that an animal looks. Something that they have about the way they look, the way that they are, that helps them survive. For example, well, hold on. Give me some examples. Let's see if you can think of any. Gonna go back to this picture. Okay. Did you say, I'm gonna get out of the presentation mode so I can write in it for you guys. Did you say a giraffe's long neck that helps it eat the leaves on a tree? Good job. That's true. Okay. How about fur? Right? Fur. You guys are not gonna make fun of me for this, as you always do. Okay. It's an arrow. I know you guys think it's kind of face. It's an arrow. Fur helps an animal stay warm, and sometimes it can be used for what? What can it be used for? You know what I'm thinking about? The other physical adaptation called camouflage. That's right. And what is camouflage again? It's when an animal blends in to its environments to protect itself from predators, things that want to eat it. Okay, so camouflage is one physical adaptation. Do you remember the other one? That's right, mimicry. And what is mimicry again? Mimicry is when an animal acts like another animal in order to not get eaten by predators. Okay, good job, guys. Yeah, very nice. Let's go to the next thing. Remember, behavioral adaptations allow animals to respond to life needs. Animals change what they do in order to survive. So it's something an animal does. Can you think of any examples? Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Hibernation is a good example of behavioral adaptation. Remember, hibernation means deep sleep, right? During winter, in order to reserve their energy and to live during the long winter season. Okay, how about migration? Did you say that one? Migration, remember, is moving from one place to another in order to survive. Who migrates? Butterflies migrate. I'm going to write this down so you know this. Butterflies migrate. That's right, butterflies do. See this picture right here? Yeah. Oh, wait, that's not butterflies. Sorry, hold on, wait. Here it is. This is where the picture is. Okay, see this picture right here? This is a picture, which is kind of blurry, of butterflies migrating. Yes, that is a ton of monarch butterflies moving from one place to another in order to survive. Can you think of any others? Another one that you might remember is dormancy, right? That's what mostly plants, when their life cycle stops, their growth stops for a period of time. Yeah, right. And who does that? Trees do that, right? A lot of trees, different plants, even foxes. Okay, another example of behavioral adaptation is learned behavior, right? Like what? Walking, talking, riding a bike. You can probably think of more examples. Okay, and finally, we've got instinct, which is things like hunting, like going to hunt, not like the places where they hunt, and also crying. When a newborn cries, that's instinct. Right. Okay, so you get the picture. Oh, a spider weaving a web. Okay. Okay, so those are all behavioral adaptations. Now that we've reviewed these adaptations, physical and behavioral, we need to talk about how these actually help the animals. All animals need food to survive, right? So, what adaptations do animals use to get food? Let's watch a video about that right now.
Instinct is a behavioral adaptation, and it can come in pretty handy for some animals when it comes to feeding themselves. The squirrel gathers acorns and stores them, either in trees or in the ground. Bees storing honey in hives is also an instinct. Some behavioral adaptations are not instinctual and have to be learned for survival. Wolf pups have to be taught to hunt. Their parents teach them this. They also teach the pups to hunt in packs so they can work together to bring down larger animals. In order to survive, animals must have energy to grow, reproduce, and live. This energy comes from eating. Either physical or behavioral adaptation, or both, enable an animal to do this. One physical adaptation which is helpful in eating is teeth. Herbivores, which are plant-eating animals, have incisors. Incisors are cutting teeth that are in the front of the mouth and are used to bite off grass or leaves. Herbivores also have molars, which are flat grinding teeth that are used for chewing plant fibers. Cows, antelopes, and rabbits are examples of herbivores. Carnivores, or meat-eating animals, have canine teeth, which are sharp and pointed. The canine teeth are helpful in grabbing and tearing animal flesh. Lions and wolves are examples of carnivores. Omnivores are animals that eat both plants and animals. They have incisors, molars, and canines. Examples of omnivores would be bears, raccoons, and humans. Another physical adaptation that an animal has for eating is a beak. Raptors, or meat-eating birds, have sharp, curved beaks for grabbing and tearing flesh. Vultures and eagles are considered raptors. The seed-eating birds have strong cone-shaped beaks that are used to crush seeds and nuts. Nectar-eating birds, like this hummingbird, have long, pointed beaks that help them reach the nectar deep inside the flowers.
Okay, so we just saw some ways that animals have adaptations that help them get their food. Can you remember some of them? Sharp teeth, right? Different kinds of beaks. Um, yeah, those kinds of things help animals get their food. Okay, so now another question is another thing we need to survive is water. So, what adaptations do animals use to get water? Let's watch that clip right now. Hold on. I want to make it big.
Ah, the desert. Love it.
Why are we here, Counselor Tom?
Adaptation, camper. Adaptation to get water. What better place to learn about it than a place where there is very little water? You see, animals must have water to survive. This is because their bodies are made up of between 50 and 95% water. In some environments, such as the ocean or a pond, water is easy to find. But in the desert, where water is hard to find, animals have learned to adapt. Their adaptations to their environment help them to not only get water, but to keep it in their system too. The African Stenocara beetle is able to get water by standing on its head in the morning, allowing the dew to collect. The dew then runs down to its mouth. This is a behavioral adaptation.
Ding, ding, ding.
Some desert animals sleep in holes during the hot days, only to come out during the cooler nights when their bodies are in need of less water. Another example of behavioral adaptation. Many toads have a huge bladder. During dry periods, They absorb the water in their bladders to replace water lost through their skin and through breathing. This is a physical adaptation. Yes, water equals survival. We all need it.
Oh, that was a long walk.
Okay, we could use a breather. Speaking of breathing, what else did we learn today that an animal needs to live?
Air. I mean oxygen.
Correct, Camper. And every animal has adaptations to meet that need wherever they are.
Okay, just like he said, animals have adaptations to meet their needs to help them survive. So, what's another thing that animals need to survive? They also need to protect themselves from predators. So, what adaptations do animals have to protect themselves from things that want to eat them, from predators? Let's watch another video.
Some animals have protective coloration to protect themselves from their enemies. The color, pattern, or shape of an animal helps it blend in with its environment to hide from predators. This blending into the environment is called camouflage. Some animals, like the octopus, are able to change color immediately to blend in with its surroundings. Here, he is light-colored against the white coral, but turns dark when hiding in the shadows. Chameleons and flounders also do this. Then there are those animals who gradually change color to fit their surroundings. As the weather gradually changes the color of the environment, the Arctic hare does the same to blend in. Brown in summer and white as snow in winter. Camouflage can also be useful to a predator so that it can hide and wait for its prey. Alligators and tigers do this. Warning coloration is another form of protective coloration. Brightly colored insects, such as ladybugs and bumblebees, taste bad or sting. Predators know this from past experiences with those insects, so their coloring makes their predators leave them alone. Some animals have the same color or shape of another animal,
Mimicry.
or sometimes even a plant. This is known as mimicry. Mimicry is when one animal mimics or copies another animal, plant, or even a rock. There are some animals that have special body parts that protect them from predators. Shells or hard coverings protect animals such as clams and turtles. Strong legs are a body part that protects some animals from predators. Antelopes and gazelles' strong legs help them run away from the lions and cheetahs that want them for dinner. Some animals use various forms of shelter for protection from predators. Desert toads crawl down cracks in the mud. A cricket will hide under a large rock or under the loose bark of a tree. Since animals cannot live forever, they must reproduce and raise their young in order to keep their species in existence.
Okay, so a lot of physical adaptations go into protecting animals from predators, like we just heard from our friend here, camouflage and mimicry. Okay, now we also need shelter to survive. We have to protect ourselves from the weather and from all kinds of things using shelter. So, how do animals adapt to get shelter? Well, they make their homes as holes in the ground. Prairie dogs, worms, ants, rabbits, fox, skunks, gophers do that. Caves or dens is another home that tigers, bears, and bats find. Trees, birds, monkeys, squirrels live there. That's an adaptation. And water, fish, crabs, frogs, lobsters, whales live in that space. Those are adaptations so that they can survive.